how to create multiple templates basically for scanning to different paths. If you are pretty much in a mid-size or large network, but you want to create multiple paths, could because the HR department or the warehouse and another departments want to have their own particular folder, or maybe John, Mary, and David would like to have their own folder. They like to scan to their own folder directly. There is a way to do that. Basically, the way that works to scan to multiple network path, log into the Copier's top access. Again, open up your browser, put in the IP address up here, get to the top access, click on the administration tab, log in 1 through 6, go ahead and log in. Once you're in here, the first step you need to do is go into the save as file setting. Now we're going to tell the Copier exactly what we want to do. We know we want to go send the scan directly to a storage path, but on the use the network folder destination, make sure you can leave it on use local folder. That's fine, but the very critical option is once you go down, you scroll down, you make sure the remote one, this option is selected. Allow users to select destination. Also remote 2, you will allow users to select. The reason we do that, we're going to see why in a minute, because this particular option will open up other options within the configuration of this Copier. So now we have this set up. We know we could create multiple templates. Once we do that, make sure you save it, click OK. Now the next step to create those multiple templates, up here there's a link that says registration. Now we're looking at the gray link here, the gray tab. Click on registration. As soon as you do that, here they are. These are your templates. These are, we call them scan templates. Once you're here, within the same window down here, scroll down. Now this particular Copier has different templates you could scan to. Pretty much these users have their own templates you could create. It looks like up to 200 templates for 200 different users. But within those templates, you could create different templates for a particular user. I'm gonna go ahead and use pretty much what you're gonna use is you're gonna look for the next template that's available. Pretty much this one is anything that says undefined means it's empty. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. Click on that. Give it a name. That's basically what you need. Just a name is fine. Click on save. Once you click on save, now we are in the test template. Within test now, this particular user has all these boxes, all these templates, scan templates you could create, and test could have up to 60 different templates. Basically means 16 different options you could set up, or 16 different paths. Now within test, now the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and select the number 1 template in this box. So we're going to click on that. Once we're here, what is it that we want to do? We want to scan, and we know the Copier knows it's going to go to save as file, so it puts a check mark there already. Click on the next step will be select the agent. Click on that. The panel settings will say scan to file. That's what we want. Within this window, scroll down. These are the options that you definitely need to set up the scan to file. Click on the scan to file settings. Window opens up. It will go PDF. That's the default setting, multi. That basically means one attachment. Scroll down. Now this is very important. Always make sure you do not want to scan to the local hard drive of the Copier. Make sure you uncheck this. Make sure this box is clear. Once that's done, then select. Remember, we use remote 1 or remote 2. Now we have 2 options to create 2 paths, but the first one we'll use is remote 1. This is going to be the default. This is what the user is going to see when they go to their template. Now we're going to create a path for this user. Go into the server because it's going to be their template. And then we're going to go backslash. It's going to go scan. That's going to be the scan folder. Actually, it's going to be test. And then backslash, then scan. Now, we do need a username and password. It does not have to be the username and password of this particular template. It does have to be a username and password where most likely the password is not going to change. So your IT has to either create a username and password that password is not going to change. The reason behind that, if this particular user Say we're using the scan user, and in 6 months or 3 months the password change, your IT must come in here into each individual template and change that password for each individual user. So it's best to have a user account where the password never expires, so this way you don't run into that issue where the scan templates, you're not switching password constantly every 3 months for every single template. So again, this would be the username, and the password could be whatever the password is for that user. Once you do that, pretty much leave it the way it is. We know we have the file settings, and this particular settings, your IT service will have that. Your IT support will have this information where the scan is going to be going to, username and password. For some reason, the scans are not working. One of the things that we do sometimes, we do put the domain name first, and then backslash, and then scan. You could try that and save those settings, see if that works. But for now, we know it's going to be scan, and that's a user and a password. So we created a template for remote 1. Remote 2, we could leave that empty because it's basically one template. Click on save. Now within this same template, you have options to create scan settings. You could give this particular user special scan settings. Color mode, you could do the resolution maybe a little higher. By default is 200. You have other options in here you could give this particular user for their own template. Now once this is set up, just click on save, and make sure once you go back here, it's done. This is the first template for this user. Now you go back in here to get back to the beginning, just click on template groups. Now you're back at the beginning. Here it is, the test template we created. If you need to modify a template, just click on the user's name, click on the first template here, click on edit, and just pretty much edit their settings. Maybe you need to change their password, their username and password. Make sure that you make the changes. Click on save. You're on your way. Now again, if you need to go back, click on template groups. Now if you need to delete that particular template, just click on the user again, reset it. That basically means that template, it is now deleted. The user is not there anymore. This is the way you create scan templates for individual users.